Fade the feather. Oh, no. Ooh, I said the F word.
Oh, what? Cut.
Welcome to Fade or Fly with Mike and the Feather, your weekly football podcast recorded right here in the heart of Sin City. Join Mike and the Feather as they dive into the world of sports bet predictions, game analysis, and serve up a healthy dose of Vegas-style humor. Whether you're looking to ride the winning streak or soar to new heights in your football knowledge, this is the podcast for you. Let's embark on this gridiron adventure together from the entertainment capital of the world.
Somehow we are back, and it's already week 10, and not only the NFL, but in the Fade or Fly studio. It's been a kind of a fun journey through the first 10 weeks of doing this.
Absolutely. Time flies. I mean, we're already staring down Thanksgiving football games that we were talking about and getting ready and preparing for.
And actually, which I shouldn't bury the lead here before anybody tunes out, we are planning to do live broadcasts Thanksgiving morning for those of you who are waiting around for the turkey to be plated and the stuffing to be delicious. Obviously, we're doing this because what's the morning game? We have the Green Bay Packers.
Packers and Lions.
At Lions.
What says Thanksgiving? Like Packer Lions, right? It's a classic.
So we are going to start broadcasting right before game time, which is 9:30 Pacific or 10, 11, 12, 12:30 Eastern time. I think they're getting started a little bit earlier this year for the Thanksgiving games, it seems like. But there will be a notification in your feeds if you're subscribed. So make sure if you're not, you're subscribed. That will give you the link. You can be reminded when it's going to start. You can click on the little bell icon, and it will automatically send a notification Thanksgiving morning. And, yeah, we're going to be watching the games anyway, so we figured why not finally give it a shot at going live like we talked about doing. If you watched the live stream before of somebody watching the game, we're not going to be actually showing the game. You're going to have to watch it on your own TV. We can't rebroadcast it, but we will be watching it live along with you, giving our reactions, maybe having some fun during the downtimes. Although with the Packers, high-scoring offense.
Yeah, we're going to be watching the game at the same time while broadcasting. And then if you want to, I don't know if we're going to have ability for you to actually be able to call in.
We'll see about call-ins, but definitely there will be live chat. So this is your time to start getting all those burning questions you've had for the Feather for years that you want to ask him, and we will respond live to those at the very least.
Yeah, we're going to answer
during the broadcast.
Yeah, type in questions, comments, thoughts. It can be football related. It can be whatever you want to ask. It can be fantasy football related.
Poker.
Anything poker.
Vegas. You got
poker, Vegas, everything. We're here for all of it. And we're going to, have a fun time on Thanksgiving and love to have you guys with us. So we'll be starting, like I said, around 9.
Well, the broadcast will probably go live about 9:15.
9:15 or so. And we're planning on doing at least the first game. And then we'll see about doing the second game as well. Looking forward to that. And hope you guys can tune in and see us on that Thursday.
Okay, but on to the current present time, the relevant time and space we're in right now. It's like some Doctor Who crazy stuff right there. We just had a good week 9. We're going to put the results up on the screen for the 5 picks from last week. We went 3-2 for a plus 5.6 units. All right, so that was week 9, but let's go ahead and look at the entire 9 weeks so far in the NFL as far as the Feathers picks have gone. Going to show you week by week, and we're also going to show you by betting unit strength how the results went down. So those were the numbers through week 9, week by week, along with the unit betting and 25, 26, and 1 push after a really, really bad start in week 2. Week 2 or 3?
Yeah, week 2. Week 2 was minus 12 point something units, and week 3 was minus 5 point something.
We got buried in the first quarter.
First 3 units got buried in that. On a positive note, though, the last 5 weeks were plus 15 units to the good. Right now I'm picking 75% on my 4-unit plays, 9-3 in the last 5 weeks on 4-unit plays for 75%. So yeah, we just want to keep the momentum going and keep on moving forward, crushing it. So that's the name of the game, trying to make you guys money and get those winning picks.
Can I bring back up an old segment we started that we really haven't continued on, but I still have a burning desire 4 days later to rant about something? Let's take a look at our 4th installment of Bad Beats of the Week. So my rage has settled down a little bit, and as some of you know, I went to the Giants-Raiders football. I think it was a football game. Not really sure what I watched.
Train wreck.
Yeah, it wasn't that good either. Got a lot of footage that I haven't sat down and put together because I haven't wanted to relive it yet. And look, I didn't expect the Giants to really pull out much in that game. But I cannot tell you that as long as I've been a Giants fan, and again, I'm complaining where I've got to see 4 Super Bowls and win 3 of them. But I have never been more upset as a fan of a sport. It's that it just starts to feel like this is the product that the Giants management feels is acceptable to put out there, to package up, and this is the product we're giving our fans. You could give them McCaffrey, Hill, Kelsey, Waddle, and the Giants. This team right now, for whatever reason, is going to have the energy to maybe find 12 points. And I just feel like it is unfair to the fans to the point where I almost wanted to leave the game at halftime.
So you're starting to feel what it's like to be a lifelong Bears and Lions fan up until now?
I was going to give you the opening, but you already just burst right through the wall. Yes, there's lots of people. I have very good friends who are Vikings fans. I understand the pain. I shouldn't be sitting here complaining. But I guess I'm feeling that right now. So to all the Giants fans out there, like, I know we're all suffering through it, and let's just kind of hope. I know we just signed Matt Barkley today. So the Steelers have Pickett to Pickens. Maybe if Danny DeVito or whatever his name is, guaranteed he's not making it through Week 10. He's going to be concussed or out by the second quarter, and Matt Barkley is going to come in. Barkley to Barkley sounds like it should be a 1980s detective sitcom or something, but maybe that is going to be the key. But I don't know. Do you think this is going to be the eye-opener now that, okay, we're going to take a quarterback in the draft? Because obviously,
I think Daniel Jones is done because I don't think he's going to be healthy enough and good to go for next year to start the season anyway. Because he got hurt late enough in this that there's a lot of players that don't even come back after a year like that anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that they are going to move on from him. I think they're going to probably
just got to eat the money.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have that many years left. I think he has
one guaranteed year.
One guaranteed year. So I think they're going to eat the money. They're going to draft a quarterback, and they're going to try to move forward. I mean, trust me, I'm with you in the same boat. Green Bay has been dominating football for 30-some years, and we've been spoiled as Packer fans, winning countless divisions, tons of NFC Championship appearances. Yeah, we fell short in Super Bowls. Ha ha ha! Everyone that's laughing about that. Yes, they fell short, and we afforded the Giants to win a couple Super Bowls because we lost to them in NFC Championship games, and then they went on to win. So we're very giving here in Green Bay.
It is a Thanksgiving season. So I'll
but
let you
I mean,
have that one.
It's one of those things where it's been rough. So I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you right now. I think that.
But I was just seriously, I felt offended as a fan, and I've never felt something like that before. And maybe it's because I haven't seen them live since 2014, but I'll be honest, I'm now 0-3 seeing the Giants play live. I thought this would be the one, a Raiders team with a coaching change a week before, a a rookie quarterback, and nope, they just S the bed as much as they could have against that team.
They fired 5 people. I guess they needed to fire the whole staff, and then maybe a default win by forfeit.
Let's move on to Week 10. Let's see what you got for us. It is time for the Feathers Take It to the Bank Picks of the Week. Okay, in a very particular order, we are going to start with 1 p.m. Eastern Time game between the 5-3 Cleveland Browns playing at the 7-2 Baltimore Ravens. At the time of recording, Ravens are a 6-point favorites. Feather?
All right, let's get it going. Week 10, pumped up. It was a great last couple weeks. Let's keep it rolling, and we're going to start off right away. Browns defense, best in the league. Unbelievable. Giving up only 17 points per game, 145 yards passing per game, and 89 yards rushing per game. All outstanding stats. The Browns actually are possessing the ball an extra 10 minutes a game over their opponents on a season average, which is outstanding. The longer they hold onto the ball, the less the defense is on the field. And then when they're on the field, they're making the best of it and getting the offenses back off the field quick. Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt are a nice 1-2 tandem punch right now. They're looking good. They seem to be, trying to overcome and fill the shoes of Nick Chubb, which is pretty hard to do. Nick Chubb is unbelievable. And if Deshaun Watson, would stay healthy and actually get on the field and play football. But it appears right now Deshaun Watson is on the field, and he's going to be on the field this week and appears to be healthy. But wait and see, because you never know. There could be some last-minute injury report. But as of right now, Deshaun Watson's moving forward, and Cleveland is hoping that he's going to start producing as a quarterback because they paid him a boatload of money, and now it's time for him to show up and get it done for the people of Cleveland. Myles Garrett, 9.5 sacks, second in the league. Just outstanding. All around outstanding. This defense is great. Cleveland finding ways to win games. They're right there in the division hunt. Now on the other side of the ball, the Ravens. Lamar Jackson's playing well. Everyone's going crazy thinking that maybe Baltimore could be the best team in AFC. I do not believe they are. I think they're playing great. Their defense is looking good, but I think they have deficits at receiver, although Zay Flowers is doing well. But otherwise, I think they're lacking a little bit. Mark Andrews is not having the year he's had in past years. So I do definitely believe that the Ravens are a decent team, but today they are going to absolutely not be that team. But in regards to this weekend, the first game this year between these two teams, Deshaun Watson was a late scratch, as you guys remember, because I did a short on it, basically saying, hey, Deshaun Watson's out, abort the pick. Well, Deshaun Watson, as long as he plays, we're going with the Browns, baby. My pick is the Browns, +6, 2 units, all day long. This game is going to be probably low scoring. The touchdowns are going to come at a premium. It's possible they all, maybe there's 2 or 3 touchdowns total in this entire game.
Over-under is currently at 38.5. So
yeah, so I think it's going to be a field goal, a bunch of field goals, maybe a couple touchdowns. Defensive struggle. Deshaun Watson's going to be able to do enough to manage the game, and him and Amari Cooper are going to connect a few times. I believe, upset alert, I think the Browns could win this outright, but definitely take them +6. They're going to cover the game. I think the score of this game could come down to a field goal, which would give us the W. So once again, Browns +6, 2 units. Boom.
Staying with the 1 p.m. Eastern time games, pick number 2 is going to be between the 4-4 Houston Texans playing at the somewhat getting red hot 5-3 Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are favored by 6.5, and the Bengals, at least Joe Burrow, not too long ago, was getting ready to be in your dead-to-me graveyard. I think this is a resurgence of the team, and this could make for an interesting matchup.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is healthy, and as you saw in this last game against Buffalo, he looked good. He looked sharp. He's running. He's scrambling. He can do it all. He's passing well. He is the Joe Cool of old. He didn't look like it the first few games. And I remember this conversation. We were sitting right here when they were playing Arizona, and I was picking the Bengals -3 against Arizona. And we were like questioning, people were like, are you kidding me? Really? And I was like, hey, I was a little bit paused myself in the whole thing. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be taking Arizona in this spot. And guess what? The Bengals been fire ever since. So here we go. Big game. CJ Stroud's been outstanding. And he had, I think, 5 touchdowns last week, 4 or 5 touchdowns, 400 yards.
How many of you guys had him on your fantasy bench last week?
Yeah, shout out to one Anthony. I believe he had him on his fantasy bench.
Not just our league. I'm thinking leagues, fantasy football leagues
in
around
general.
the world.
Trust me, right now, waiver wire pickup, everyone picked them back up. People had dropped them actually the week before that week, and they pick them right back up the next week. But this week against the Bengals, forget about it. I don't think it's going to be as strong. The reality is the Texans have a very poor rushing offense. They can't really run the ball. Pierce is probably going to be out again. Devin Singletary has been kind of a failure all year, and he hasn't done great when he stepped in this last week. The offensive line for the Texans is not good, and the Texans' defense is just as bad. The defense has lost a lot of players to injury, and they are definitely they're on borrowed time right now. They're exceeding all expectations.
Actually, if they lose, they're on borrowed time.
Borrowed time. I mean, Joe Burrow is a beast. Now the question is Jamar Chase. He may not play. He's got a little bit of a back injury. We'll see if he plays. Whether he plays or not, they're going to be fine. Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, who's a top number 1 wide receiver on every other team, except for the Bengals. is going to fill in just fine. Bengals, I think, are going to shut them down. The Bengals are going to, the front seven's going to put pressure on. They're going to shut the run down that doesn't exist already, and they're going to put pressure on Stroud, and I think that he's going to throw a pick or two. And it's a tough environment to play in Cincinnati, especially for a rookie. I think that Mixon and T. Higgins will tear up the Texans' defense, which is poor. And bottom line, Bengals, 6.5, 2 units. Boom. I love it. So we're going to keep rolling with the Bengals, and they're looking great, and there's no signs of them slowing down with Chase, without Chase. Doesn't matter. Bengals get it done at home. Boom.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong, but pick number 3 might be one of the more intriguing or most watched football games Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Both teams coming off their Week 9 bye. The 5-3 San Francisco 49ers playing at the 6-2 Jacksonville Jaguars. From what I read, Brock Purdy spent the week off at his family farm with his girlfriend. I would think Trevor Lawrence probably spent the week at the salon getting his hair taken care of. All that jet setting to Europe, earlier in the season. 49ers are a 3-point favorite on the road after having dropped 3 games in a row prior to the bye week. They're seeing some injuries. How do you feel about these two teams meeting up, and could this be a potential matchup later down the road too?
This is a great game. This is an outstanding game. Jacksonville is playing really well. I think that they're just as good as their record shows. They easily could be 7-1. They got a little unlucky against the Chiefs. Officiating wasn't exactly ideal either, and they weren't at a really good spot. The Jaguars of right now are a much better team than when they played the Chiefs and just barely lost. So I think that right now the Jaguars are outstanding, and they got a lot of potential. But now you're looking at this. Kyle Shanahan, this guy is a wizard, okay? Coming off of the last 2 seasons, coming off their bye, they're combined 17-4 record. Last year after the bye, they went 9-0. So all I can say is they're going to be prepped and ready to roll. They're traveling all the way to the East Coast to Florida, but let's just be real. There's more Jacksonville fans in London than there are in actually Jacksonville. So their fans are not exactly they're kind of fair weather fans, I would say, for the most part. So there's going to be a lot of 49er fans there, and it's not going to probably feel like as much of a home game as it should, but we'll see, I guess. For the Jags, I mean, their defense is excellent. They're only giving up 79 yards rushing per game. But now they got to face Christian McCaffrey, a healthy Christian McCaffrey who's been really good, really dynamic, and he was banged up before the bye, and now he's gotten a chance to get healthy. San Francisco also gets back Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is going to be back, and he is a guy that's dynamic. He can help the pass and run game. And Brock Purdy is welcoming him back because Brock Purdy has had a struggle for the last 3 straight weeks. The man was undefeated in his career, and it came crashing down, loss after loss after loss. It started with a missed field goal and went downhill from there. So Brock,
like in poker, he had his sun run since the end of last season, and suddenly the variance caught up a little bit. But I think that team is obviously solid enough to not let that become the theme for the rest of the season by any stretch of the imagination.
No, first and foremost, San Francisco is not one-dimensional. They are a balanced team. The story of the Niners really is their defense. At the trade deadline, they ended up picking up Chase Young, defensive end stud standout. Now it's going to be side by side. Him and Nick Bosa, the Smash Brothers, they are going to wreak havoc on the world. Okay, those two, Chase Young, if he can stay healthy, they're going to be unbelievable. So San Francisco's defense was already outstanding, but now they may be unstoppable. On the other side of the ball, Calvin Ridley, after week 1, looked outstanding. People were like, man, we got him for a steal. Jacksonville fans were pumped. Fantasy football people were pumped. But then Calvin Ridley's kind of gone quiet the last X amount of weeks, and he's been kind of doing not a whole lot. Now, on the other end of the ball, right on the other side, rushing, Travis Etienne, dynamic. This guy's a beast. He's got 7 rushing touchdowns. He's absolutely crushing it. The guy's running well. He's catching balls in the backfield. And Doug Peterson is very pleased with his performance. I mean, this is a tough game. But the bottom line is, I'm taking Kyle Shanahan, San Francisco 49ers, the Niners, -3, 4 units. They're going to get it done. I do not see a path that they do not win this game by 7 to 10 plus points all day long. Jacksonville's really good, but this Niner team is healthy and hungry, and they're not going to lose 4 in a row. It's just not happening. Sorry, Jacksonville, you came off a bye. You thought you walked into a good situation, and you drew the Niners, who are pissed off. 3 losses in a row. There won't be 4. Niners get it done. Take it to the bank. Back the truck up. 4 units. Boom.
All right, last of the morning games. Pick number 4, 2 teams who I am shocked at this point have a winning record. The 5-4 New Orleans Saints are favored by 2.5 points at the 5-4 Minnesota Vikings. I should say the now Joshua Dobbs-led Minnesota Vikings, after playing in a game where he was not even in the camp for 3 days and didn't know any of the players' names.
Yeah, he had an impressive comeback, but let's just be clear, it was against a very poorly coached Atlanta Falcons team. He's been bouncing around the league for a number of years. You know, it's just one of those things where he had a great game. We may never see it again in that circumstance. It was pretty much a miracle, but it happened. He got it done. Boom. This is a different story. They're playing a solid, formidable defense in the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are struggling on offense. They seem to, Taysom Hill is pretty much bailing them out every game. He's like a Swiss Army knife doing everything. They need to figure out a way to get Alvin Kamara to actually rush the ball and get some yards. It's not the Alvin Kamara of old that was always a sure stick for 100 yards plus rushing. He's catching the ball a lot, and that's because Derek Carr is dumping off for half-yard passes and all kinds of stuff. So from a fantasy standpoint, you're loving Alvin Kamara with all of his stats catching the ball, but he's not going anywhere. Minnesota, on the other hand, no, they have the injury bug. No, Justin Jefferson will not be ready to play this week yet. KJ Osborne is in concussion protocol, and TJ Hawkinson is questionable as well with, I believe, like a little rib injury. He most likely will play, but they're beat up. Cam Akers tore his Achilles last week, so now they're down another running back. This Minnesota team, these fans have hope after last week, but they need not to have hope, because there is not hope for this team. The New Orleans Saints are going to take them to the woodshed. Saints minus 2.5, 2 units. The Saints are going to double-digit win, no problem. They're going to get revenge for the years ago in the playoffs when Stephon Diggs did the walk-off touchdown.
Speaking of miracles in Minnesota, right?
Minnesota Miracle. So anyway, simple as that. Saints, no science here, just flat out Saints are a better team. They're going to they have a lot of potential on offense, and their defense is going to give Josh Dobbs all kinds of problems, and he's going to have flashback memories of the days in Arizona when he basically could do nothing.
All right, let's hop into the 4:05 Eastern Time game for pick number 5. This is the 6-2 Detroit Lions playing at the 4-4 Los Angeles Chargers. Los Angeles, I got it this time. Lions are a 2.5 point favorite on the road. You wouldn't possibly pick the Lions, would you?
I'm shocked just hearing 6-2 Lions. That an error?
The Lion is 6-2.
You need to do a stat correction. Lions are coming off a bye. Dan Campbell is one hell of a coach. He's got these guys playing hard. He's blue collar, just mass mouth football kind of guy. The Chargers, on a short week, they played a really, really bad Jets offense. The Jets defense is great. In that game, we learned Justin Herbert's not playing very well. And this team is down a couple wide receivers now with Palmer on the IR, and obviously the loss of Mike Williams a few weeks back. Everything's on Keenan Allen's shoulders, and Austin Eckler, who's now back for a couple weeks from injury as well. He's playing well. He's not rushing the ball that great, but he's catching the ball in his passing game. He's being utilized, as a receiver quite a bit in this offense. We saw what happened in Detroit when the last time they played a good AFC team this year. They got absolutely beat the brakes off of against Baltimore Ravens, right? That's not going to happen this time, okay? The bottom line is the Lions are for real. Man, I just had to say that. The Lions.
You choked a little bit there when you you choked a little bit when you just said that.
Can I switch this to vodka?
That'll be the show. Every time you get a pick wrong, you got to take a shot.
I mean, the Lions are for real. I'm saying it. I'm on Ross St. Brown, and this dynamic 1-2 punch between Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, they are going to tear up this mediocre defense of the Chargers. There's no other way to get around it. The Chargers on defense are not good. Their offense has not been great. They're going to be facing Aiden Hutchinson, who's going to bring the pain on Justin Herbert. Okay, he's probably going to break his other hand. So bottom line, the Lions, without a doubt, back up the Brinks trunk. Lions minus 2.5, 4 units. They're going to get it done. The Detroit Lions are going to come in. They're going to travel to the West Coast. They're going to take Justin Herbert and the Chargers to the woodshed this week. You can take that to the bank. Boom.
All right, last pick, late afternoon game, 4:25 p.m. Eastern time. We look at the bottom of the screen right now, like right down there. Do you know how difficult it was to fit Washington Commanders and Seattle Seahawks on the damn screen? It's the same problem the Westgate Sportsbook has if you ever go there, because what does it always say for the Commanders? Commandy. Because for whatever reason, they had to choose not only they chose a name, it just doesn't fit. Let's just put it that way.
A lot of words, a lot of letters.
A lot of words, but
a lot of letters.
it is a lot of letters. They don't have a lot of wins, though. The 4-5 Washington Commanders at the 5-3 Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are a 6-point favorite at home, coming off a game where they looked like garbage.
Yeah, I mean, a couple weeks ago, Washington traded away their 2 best defensive players. Seattle has struggled a lot, and last week was an example of that when they got absolutely beat down last week. They're coming back. They're at home, and Pete Carroll's good about trying to basically get them refocused and resituated, but nothing like having Washington come in to get your team back going again. Because Washington, Sam Howell's done some good things this year. Jahan Dotson, who was a big-time receiver for them that they had a lot of expectation. He was terrible the first few weeks, pretty much up until the last 2 weeks. Now he's averaging 90 yards a game and a touchdown the last 2 weeks. So they definitely needed that offensive spark. Sam Howell's been on his back. The man has been sacked 44 times this year, and it's not going to change. This week's going to be more of the same. Probably he'll take 2 to 5 sacks. I have no doubt. As far as the Seahawks, they're trying to find their identity. They're trying to keep par. In theory, if San Francisco somehow were to lose and the Seahawks were to win, the Seahawks would be first place in a division. And no one would have ever thought that the Seahawks would be in first place in that division. So, but let's just say the San Francisco 49ers, they're definitely not going to lose, but neither are the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks favored by 6 points. We're going to go 4 units on Seattle. The Birds are going to get it done. They're going to win by 13-plus points. No problem. Washington's going to fall to 4-6 and basically become irrelevant with the New York Giants. So that being said,
turn Mike off. There we go. 6 picks for NFL Week 10 from the Feather himself. As a reminder, 2 weeks from now, we'll be going live for the Thanksgiving morning game. At the very least, the Packers game, of course. Jason will wear his finest Packers jersey, and we'll see if we can get him to wear a cheese hat too.
Yeah, tell everybody about it, man. We love to have you guys come on and interact with you. We're always looking for new subscribers, so tell everyone about it and smash that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate that. We're working hard out here for you guys, and looking forward to another Sunday of football. It's going to be an early Sunday morning football because the game once again is at 6:45 a.m. So, for the people in Germany, I feel bad for them because they're having to watch a dumpster fire of a game. The Colts and the Patriots, I mean, there's going to be a lot of beer drinking going on in the stadium because that game is miserable. I'm already calling it. This is like my bonus spoiler. Doesn't count as my pick, but I think the Patriots are going to get the W unless Kidwell bets on the Patriots.
The Kidwell jinx.
The Kidwell jinx is real. So please.
We're going to have to convince Mike to come on the show so people know who he is.
Yeah. Kidwell, we want to know in advance from now on, though, what all your picks are before I make my picks.
Yep, we definitely do appreciate it, guys. And also with that live show, it's going to be the first time live from this studio. So you never know what could go absolutely asininely wrong. So definitely want to be there. Don't miss it. I won't be able to edit all of his ums and ahs and mispronunciations. So it's going to be raw feather. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tell a friend. Hire a Skyrider. Put the message out there. We appreciate you guys being here. Week 10, halfway through. Let's have another good week. Let's keep it rolling.
I'm pumped, guys. Big Sunday.
Pumped.
Let's go. Let's get it going. Week 10.
Have fun, guys.
Gotta love it. Have fun. Take it to the bank. Back up the Brinks truck this weekend. Boom.